Our main story tonight concerns drugs. You know, the substances that gave us most music, seasons 1 and 2 of The West Wing, and this spectacular clip of a BBC reporter getting inadvertently wasted.
Burning behind me is 8.5 tons of heroin, opium, hashish and other narcotics.
That is a clip from the award-winning show Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. The late-night TV series is now in its 10th season. It has won 14 Emmys.
Wow.
Yes, the show takes a close look at big topics like artificial intelligence, solitary confinement, and even psychedelic-assisted therapy using comedy and a whole lot of research. And John Oliver is here with us this morning. John, good morning.
Good morning. It is lovely to be in Times Square.
So,
the universally agreed upon best part of the city.
Center of the universe. So every week, and we were doing an editorial call yesterday, and we were talking about you coming on, and Chandler, our producer, said, you know, it takes about 6 weeks for the producers and the writers and everybody on the staff to put together one of those segments.
Yes.
Gayle goes,
and we said, no, wait.
yeah, Gayle was
I
shocked.
said, Chandler, you said 6 weeks, not 6 days. And then Vlad goes, I can attest.
Yeah, I was going to say. Also, that comes across as a bit of an insult. It doesn't. You're telling me they don't turn up, think of something, and then basically say it in real time? No, it's a month and a half
I know,
hard work.
but John, I was surprised.
She was surprised.
And Vlad goes, because there are many nights that Marion is up till 2 o'clock in the morning doing research.
Exactly. You, of anyone, cannot be surprised by it.
Yes, we'll talk about Marion in just a second. But I was surprised, John, that it was 6 weeks.
Okay, yeah, we do work really hard, Gayle.
I know.
Really, I guess the thing is, with some of the stories, they're either so complicated or so legally volatile that if we get something wrong, either the story collapses or we're gone forever.
But what Vlad pointed out that I thought was really genius is that you get all the research, you get all the facts, and then there's a comedy team that writes it, along with your talent.
Yeah, because you can't build jokes. You don't want to build jokes on sand, right? Because then that's what we learned gradually. We realised that if a whole bunch of research comes in and just wipes away a whole bunch of jokes that the writers have written, then that feels like the process isn't working. So yeah, we shifted things.
So how do you pick the topics?
Well, we get told everyone can pitch at the show, so it's basically whatever we're drawn to. If it gives us a sense that there's something interesting there, that's something that's worth spending 6 whole weeks on, as crazy as that sounds, Gayle.
Yeah.
And if we can show people things they haven't seen before, that's one of the metrics that we use. If we can give people something that's perhaps new to them.
I know, but that's what fascinates me about the show, because last Sunday it was about farm workers. I went, I don't know, farm workers. Honestly, and then
these are tough to pick.
Exactly. And then I started watching it, John, and it was so interesting.
Yes.
That is,
all the things you don't know.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, that is why we don't ever say, look, this is what we're going to be doing this week, because it would sound like a show that you didn't want to watch.
Yes.
So it's like a closely guarded secret of what we're going to talk about each week, not because it's going to be fun, but because it's better for us to have a captive audience who can't leave.
Well, one of the reasons I tuned in is because this particular week, I watch you all the time, but I said, I know they're going to say something about Donald Trump and the indictment. I can't wait to see his take on it. And you didn't really go into it. I was surprised. No. How come?
Well, it was the end of the week. It felt like that story had been talked about to death.
All right.
So, yeah, we kind of... I can't even remember what we talked about instead, but it was more fun than trying to...
No, it was. And even the title of the show, when it first started last week tonight, I go, how does that work?
You were thinking about it, right?
What does that mean? And now that we know how the show works,
nothing,
it's actually very good, John Oliver.
I guess it worked out. I guess that was the problem with that, was having to create a show's title before you know what the show is going to be. So, yeah, it was a slight play on words.
I love that you all have hilarious stunts. Number one, I love anything with Times Square and singing and dancing. You once baked a giant cake. Do you have a favorite when you look at those? I mean, that Times Square thing was genius.
This is the Bob Murray one.
That's right, exactly.
Yes.
This is
great.
This was the end of a multi-years-long lawsuit that we had with a coal baron. And this was us winning the lawsuit and celebrating in, you might say, a relatively provocative fashion. Yes, we were telling him to eat something.
This is also a media company standing by you as you faced lawsuits that could have been...
well, it was very, very important to me, obviously, that HBO did stand by us, because what he was engaging with was a slap suit. He used those against all manner of local newspapers who cannot afford to fight back. So it felt like when he's when you're working for a company that can afford to fight back, you must.
Yes.
And we did.
So, John, I have to just say thank you to you and the staff, to Liz, to Tim, to everybody on the staff, because Marion told me not to embarrass you. She's like, please don't embarrass John and don't embarrass me. But I won't. I'll just show you this little picture that we have of our daughter Celine wearing
on brand.
last week tonight onesies. And we thank you and
of course.
I hope you gave something else besides a onesie with
They did, Gayle. They did.
I mean, God, John, you're so generous. A onesie with your name on it. Sure, Vlad.
We gave her a whole bunch of Seth Meyers merch. You know, she's not actually wearing that in that photo.
Oh, God.
No, but it is cute. It's cute. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, let's take the rapid fire.
Probably
Okay,
only
go ahead.
60 seconds, John.
Okay,
I'm gonna ask you which you prefer. Timeshares, which you say lying is a strategy,
Yes.
or pumpkin spice lattes, which you say you'd rather drink a cable knit sweater.
I would say that timeshares are worst. A pumpkin spice latte technically ends by the time you get to the bottom of it. A timeshare is for life.
All right.
Okay.
Homeowners associations or artificial intelligence?
Artificial intelligence, we don't know exactly where that's going. Homeowners associations are a living nightmare.
1,900% interest. Those homeowner associations charge you. Yes. Payday loans or the lottery. Now, I was struck by the lottery. People spend more on the NFL, video games, movie tickets, MLB, and porn combined.
Well done.
That's what you told me.
Hitting the emphasis hard on the end. That's my information. Okay. I would say that the lottery is empty hope. Payday loans are a bear trap.
Okay. New Year's Eve, which you say it's the three worst things: people that you can't stand, staring at Ryan Seacrest and getting drunk, or the movie Air Bud, which you released as a web special. You attacked this poor dog who wanted to play basketball in a web-only special.
I love Air Bud. I would dispute whether we attacked that dog, Vlad. I think we celebrated that dog to the extent it deserved to be celebrated, which is less than it is.
I love it. Love it. Well, John, thank you. Congratulations on 10 seasons.
CBS Mornings or...
CBS Mornings or death.
Okay.
It's like the old snake.
That's our new tag.
Congrats. Congrats,
You can catch
John.
Last Week Tonight, Sunday nights on HBO. We're
Congrats,
coming right
John
back.
Oliver. Congrats.
Look at the gray. I love it.